Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. First, a quick look at the major headlines tonight. Ambassador Johannes met with South Sudanese Foreign Minister. Entomology Center exerting commendable activities. Israel says government sites targeted by cyber attack. More than 30 killed in attacks on town of Arbinda in Burkina Faso. In our domestic news, Eritrean ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan, Mr. Johannes Mikhail, met and held talks with Mr. Deng, Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Sudan, on strengthening bilateral ties as well as regional developments, indicating that the Eritrean government has strong belief that the people of South Sudan have the capacity of addressing their problems. Ambassador Johannes expressed Eritrea's full support to the implementation of the peace agreement. In their meeting, Ambassador Johannes and Mr. Deng discussed on economic programs to the benefit of the people of the two countries. The two officials also discussed on the responsibility and rights of the Eritrean people residing in South Sudan in general and that of Eritrean investors in particular. Mr. Deng, on his part, commended the support the people and government of Eritrea are exerting to the people and government of South Sudan. Ambassador Johannes also had similar discussions with Mr. Deng, Deputy Foreign Minister of the Republic of South Sudan. The Entomology Center in Elaborate subzone is significantly contributing in controlling communicable diseases transmitted by mosquitoes, indicating the praiseworthy contribution of the center in reducing the prevalence of malaria in the past 20 years. Mr. Mansour Yunus, entomologist at the Ministry of Agriculture branch in the Ansaba region, said that the center is currently equipped with modern laboratory facility and is in better condition to conduct more researches. Mr. Mansour also said that the center is exchanging information and experience with the similar centers in the southern and Gashbarka regions. Expressing satisfaction for the tangible contribution the center is making in controlling communicable diseases, the experts in the center said that it will not be far that the malaria and other communicable diseases transmitted by mosquitoes are under control. Residents of 22 administrative areas of Adkhwala subzone have been engaged in an extensive soil and water conservation popular campaign that began since February this year. Speaking to Arena, engineer Taghlaweni Zaid said on soil and water conservation expert that the objective is to carry out the campaign on over 1,500 hectares of farmland this year, and so far the residents have completed the task on about 200 hectares. Mr. Burhane Ande, administrator of Denfi administrative area, on his part, commended the residents for their strong participation and called on them to strengthen contribution for the successful completion of the program. The residents on their part underscored the significance of the soil and water conservation popular campaign in increasing agricultural production and productivity. They expressed readiness to strengthen participation. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. Israel's defense establishment says it is not immediately clear who was behind what may be the largest ever cyber attack on the country. Israel says its government websites were hit by a cyber attack, but services have since been restored. The government-funded directorate that oversees cyber defense in the report published last year said it had witnessed a dramatic increase in the scale and quality of cyber attacks worldwide and in Israel. Israel's Ministry of Communications said it conducted an assessment of the situation with the emergency services following a widespread cyber attack on government websites. It was not immediately clear who carried out the attack, but previously hacks on Israeli websites have been attributed to attackers linked to Iran Iran and Israel have been locked in a showdown war that includes cyber attacks as well as the targeting of physical sites. We apologize for that, dear viewers. We continue with the rest of the news. Armed fighters have killed at least 8 people who were collecting water in a town in northern Burkina Faso, its mayor has said. The incident, which occurred on Monday morning, brings the total killed in 3 days of violence in the restive area to more than 30. Monday's attack took place in Arbinda in the province of Somme, which has suffered several deadly raids by armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIL that for years have sought to gain control over swath of arid terrains where Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger meet. Mayor Bourema Ouerem said the gunmen have been targeting water towers and pumps in recent weeks in an apparent new tactique. In separate incidents in northern Burkina Faso, at least 15 people, including 13 military police officers, were killed in Nomentenga province on Sunday, the military police said, and on Saturday, 9 people were killed in an assault on an informal gold mine in the province of Odalan. A security source said a campaign of violence has already killed thousands of people and forced more than 2 million to flee their homes in the Sahel region south of Sahara Desert. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Ambassador Johannes met and held talks with South Sudanese Foreign Minister. Entomology Center exerting commendable activities. Israel says government sites targeted by cyber attack. More than 30 people killed in attacks on the town of Arbinda in Burkina Faso. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.